not made for kids. Your discretion is advised. Hello to my subscribers, this is the TFangy coming to you with what will hopefully be a successful review of the Transformers Generations War for Cybertron Trilogy Kingdom Deluxe Class Fossilizer Ractonite. Released in Wave 2 of the Kingdom line, Ractonite, for most Transformers collectors, has become their least favorite of the three Deluxe Class Fossilizers. I've seen more collectors say more positive things about Paleotrix and Wingfinger. Part of it has to do with how Ractonite transforms. It's a little simplistic, and unfortunately, Ractonite doesn't have as much posability or fun as Paleotrix and Wingfinger do, but we'll see when we take a close look at him and when we get him out of his box in a moment. So here is Ractonite inside his box. I apologize for the glow reflecting off the plastic window. There's a good look at Ractonite. Here he is in his fossilizer mode. I forgot what species this name of dinosaur is. Okay, I just looked it up. So, the species of dinosaur that Ractonite is a fossilized skeletal version of is known as a styracosaurus. And this is the first Transformers action figure in my collection that transforms into a styracosaurus, even if it is just the bones. So, Ractonite is unique in that regard. Here's the image of his robot mode here on the side of the box. And Ractonite does look somewhat imposing there in that artwork. Here on this side of the box, you've got the poster image from the Kingdom line on the top of the box, just like Paleotrix. Sorry for being upside down there. Ractonite is a Predacon. This side of the box, you've got the barcode and warning labels. Here on the back of the box, you've got the product photos. There's Ractonite in his robot mode and his fossilizer mode of a skeletal styracosaurus. Transforms back and forth between both modes in 16 steps. And there is the fossilizer gimmick. You can take all his body parts apart and attach them to another Transformers action figure. Ractonite is the only Predacon in Wave 2 of the Kingdom line, and so he's shown on being a fossilized weapons array for Huffer. And I apologize, just like Paleotrix, I won't actually show off Ractonite's fossilizer combination mode. I'm debating on if I'm going to do a video review of the combiner that you can make from the 3 Deluxe Class Fossilizer figures. So without further delay, let's get Ractonite out of his box and take a close look at him in robot mode. Alright, and so here is Ractonite out of his box and in his robot mode. Before we actually look at him he comes with the exact same card that I got with the last figure I reviewed, which was Huffer. Yep, same card on the back as well. Now, before I go on, I apologize for not doing this while he was still in the box, but I have to give a shout out to fellow Transformers collector and Transformers reviewer, Arbitrary Hero. I actually won Ractonite from a contest that he held a couple of months ago, so I apologize for not reviewing Ractonite earlier than before now, Arbitrary Hero, so hope you can forgive me for reviewing Ractonite so late. But yeah, I won Raconite in a contest, and I will leave a link down in the video description to Arbitrary Hero's channel. I hope you will subscribe to his video. He does lots of amazing reviews on Transformers figures. Yes, thank you once again, Arbitrary Hero, for sending me Ractonite. Now I can kind of feel in my hands. I can't really show it off too well on camera, but a lot of Ractonite's weight is in his robot mode torso. And unfortunately, unlike Paleotrix, who I already reviewed, Ractonite's legs are a little stumpy and they're very, very slender and thin. And and at the bottom of his legs, his feet are very small. So even if you manage to get his feet to line up properly with each other, if you try and stand Ractonite on a solid flat surface, he's either going to fall forward or fall backward because the size of his feet doesn't really support the upper half of his robot mode, so that is a little bit of a disappointment. And the biggest disappointment to be found with Ractonite is one thing that he does not have. If you look right here at the end of this arm, the other arm is the same. The reason it looks different is because the tail forms a dagger weapon that Ractonite uses. But at the end of his arms, yeah, Ractonite does not actually have any hands. He just has a pair of 5mm pegs due to the Fossilizer gimmick. So yes, a Ractonite, he can't actually hold any weapons unless they have a peg hole in them, just like his spiked tail dagger. So that's another disappointment that Ractonite has that makes him a little lackluster compared to Paleotrex and also Wingfinger, who I haven't reviewed yet. So, just like Paleotrex, Ractonite has almost the exact same articulation. His head can rotate left and right 380 degrees. It can look upward and downward a bit. And just like Paleotrex, Ractonite does have a flip down face shield gimmick, but unlike Paleotrex, where it folded down and gave him a more skeletal looking face, with Ractonite it just forms a faceless shield. I don't know if they were trying to go for samurai ninja look with that helmet design or what, but yeah, it doesn't really do much to improve, give Ractonite like a second face sculpt like it did us with Paleotrex. The arms can rotate 360 degrees forwards and backwards. That's partially due to the fact that his robot mode arms detach due to the fossilizer gimmick. You got the swivel joint in the bicep on this arm. No swivel joint on this arm. There isn't really a bicep on this arm because the arm is formed from the styracosaurus skull on this arm. So I apologize. I just said there's no bicep swivel. There is one, but you have to open up the styracosaurus jaw to activate the bicep swivel. Otherwise, you're going to have clearance issues with it. Hinged elbows on both arms, and this arm just popped off on me. Let me see. Hinge joints at the elbows, and at the end of his arms, he doesn't actually have any hands. They're just 5mm pegs. So that's the biggest disappointment to be had with Ractonite, is that he doesn't actually have any hands. He does have a waist swivel, so he can look left and right 360 degrees. His legs can go out this far, so Ractonite can do the full splits. The legs can go backwards this far, and they can go forward that far. Or he does kind of have a swivel joint in the thigh, but that's because, as again, due to the fossilizer gimmick, the legs actually attached there, so that's why he has swivel joints there. Hinge knees, and he does have ankle rockers, but nothing in the actual feet, no movements in the toes or heel spurs, since it's all one sculpted art. And again, Ractonite has somewhat stumpy legs, and even though I'm holding him up in the air with my hand, it does feel as though if I were to put Ractonite on a solid flat surface that he would not stand up due to how small his robot mode legs are. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I apologize for not having any deluxe figures in hand to do a size comparison in robot mode. So without further delay, let's get Ractonite transformed and take a look at him in his fossilizer mode. Alright, and here is Ractonite in his fossilizer mode. And for what it is being a fossilized skeletal version of a styracosaurus, it does a fairly decent job of looking like a skeletal dinosaur. The head can rotate up and down this much, so you can get him into a more defensive position if you wanted to have him facing off against Paleotrex in a survival of the fittest. And the jaw bone can open up this much, even though I'm certain that the jawbone of a styracosaurus wasn't able to open that wide. I do love how they got the sculpted teeth there on the inside of the jaw, and of course at the front of the mouth. The styracosaurus, just like other species of dinosaurs similar to it, at the tip of the mouth had a beak on it and not actual teeth. So I'm glad they were able to do it like that. And of course, you can leave the jaw closed like that. The legs do have fairly decent amount of articulation for what they are. But again, if you don't line up the joints all properly, all four of the legs won't sit on the on a solid surface too well, and the tip of the tail can go upwards and down this much. No articulation on this joint in the tail due to how it sits literally right at the base of Ractonite's pelvis bone, and due to this hinge joint right here, you can make it look as though he's looking over a rock ledge as you're about to jump on something. And unfortunately, Ractonite's robot mode head just sits right there at the base of his pelvis. If you want it hidden, you can rotate it around and put the face shield over his face. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Ractonite's Fossilizer mode. What you see is what you get. He's got a tiny little Predacon symbol right there. One thing I do like that they did is they put black paint in between the rib bones to show that there's actually not supposed to be anything there between the ribs, and the rib cage is hollowed out. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say with Ractonite. If I can get it back out again really fast, there is a 5mm peg on the inside of Ractonite's mouth. If I can get it to flip back out. Oh, sorry about this. Okay, there it is. Alright, so like I said, he does have a 5mm peg inside his mouth, so you can either have that be like a cannon or like a metallic tongue if you're so inclined to have an active imagination like that. But yeah, all in all, like I said, Ractonite is the first ever Transformers action figure I've added to my collection that turns into some type of a styracosaurus or so. Ractonite is pretty enjoyable in that regard. There's one gripe I have with Ractonite in his fossil mode. It's that the head frill doesn't really peg into place too well, and it's not that secure. And so, even though you do have to apply just a little bit of force to get it to detach, it does wobble ever so slightly in place. So, that is somewhat of a letdown. I apologize again for not having any other Transformers action figures on hand to do a size comparison with. But even though I'm harping a little bit on Raconite's letdowns, I will admit that he does look pretty impressive for what he is. And just overall, I enjoy the shade of ivory white with gray stains that Hasbro and Dakar Tomy gave here on Raconite. So thank you once again to Arbitrary Hero for holding the contest that allowed me to win Raconite from you. So yes, Arbitrary Hero is a great reviewer of Transformers action figures, and I hope you guys will go check out his channel once I leave the link to it in the video description. So thank you to all my subscribers for your continued support. This has been my review of the Transformers Kingdom Ractonite. I do recommend getting this figure, even though I pointed out all of the flaws with the figure that other collectors have pointed out, because it's still a pretty decent Transformers action figure. And again, you can't go wrong having a Transformer that turns into a bunch of dinosaur bones owns in your Transformers collection. So yes, thank you guys all for watching. This has been the TFN Geek. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you have not already. And remember to stay safe and healthy. And until next time, you guys, Transform and roll out. Goodbye, everyone.